I think we've become desensitized to the Gospels in a lot of ways, because I think we forget how big of a deal Jesus is. To say parables like the one we just heard, oftentimes in the scriptures we see that he goes to eat with sinners and tax collectors, and I think we've kind of idealized that in a lot of ways. Like, yeah, go Jesus, good job. But that's really a big deal that he would do something like that. He's going against the grain of the fabric of the society that he lived in. And for him to say a parable like this one about those who think themselves better than others, to literally call out a Pharisee and say, actually, you should be more like a tax collector, I don't know if we have an equivalent to a tax collector these days. I mean, well, nobody likes paying taxes. Maybe an IRS person, I don't know. God bless anybody who does that, but these are really the dregs of society, the people that you wouldn't be caught dead sitting at the lunch table with. And yet Jesus is saying you need to be like these guys. You need to be humble. You need to think yourself not better than others. He's literally telling the Pharisees, you think you're better than others. And maybe they said, well, we are, but I don't know. But he's telling us that that's not the way to be. There's a lot of different examples we can use of instead of what the tax collector was, or what the Pharisee was saying. I'm glad I'm not greedy or whatever else like all these other people. Maybe we would use words like, I'm glad I'm not an abortionist. Maybe I'm glad I'm not struggling with same-sex attraction. Maybe I'm glad I'm not one political party versus another political party. And yet I do all of these other good things. The fundamental problem with the attitude of the Pharisee in that parable is that it causes stark division to the point that there's no reaching across the aisle anymore. What we do if we have a prayer mindset like that, or if we actually think that way about other people, is we've demonized them. If I've already decided that if somebody believes one way or another about something, and I will not talk to them because of the way that they believe or the way that they are, then I have closed myself off from any potential of relationship there. I have said that that person has no value. I have said that that person is not human. And man, is that a difficult thing to navigate as we go through life. Because we all make assumptions. We all have biases. We do those kinds of things so that we can navigate through life. But sometimes those biases run so deep that it keeps us from talking to certain people of race, of creed, of whatever it might be, when they may be very well somebody who's just striving the best that they can to love God, misinformed or not. Maybe somebody who's striving to make friends. Maybe somebody who's striving to be ignored so that they don't get picked on in these kinds of ways. It really behooves every one of us to continually look at the biases that we might have in our hearts about different people. What are those markers that we put on people that as soon as I put it on somebody, I have decided that they are bad, that they are bad guys, that there's no redeeming quality to them? Is it Democrat or Republican? Is it pro-choice? Is it LGBTQ plus? What are the markers that have made me decide that somebody is less than human and that I will not speak to them? And what is the Lord calling for me to do to reach across the barrier like he did, to eat with them, to show them that they are loved? Not to necessarily say that what they do or say is right, but that they are loved.